Good morning, Jackson, Mississippi, and all surrounding areas. You've tuned in and you would think I could get this right. You've tuned into the free-range human show of choice, your daily dose of reality radio. It starts now. This is the Clay Edwards Show, and I'm, of course, Clay Edwards. We are live in the Dustin Bailey at Southern Magnolias Realty Studio out here in lovely Florida, Mississippi, where the garbage will still be getting picked up after tomorrow. If you guys want to chime in, the Guns and Gear text line, 769-241-1944. The Mac Hike of Flowwood phone line, we'll open that up in the next segment, 601-879-0002. And look, when your boy's right, your boy's right. Told y'all, I ain't the only person. I don't want to take all the credit. I think every host on the station said it, especially my partner in the afternoons, Mr. Kim Wade, that this garbage thing was going to blow up in their faces in Jackson. If you've been sleeping under a rock for a few days, Jackson Richards Disposal is pulling out of Jackson. Saturday will be the last day to get your garbage picked up. And Jackson does not have a plan B. I'm going to read to you one little part of the press release from Jackson. I mean, talk about every time you think, well, this is rock bottom. This is it. Can't get no worse. We didn't have running water. Couldn't even flush your toilets, much less drink the water. But then they find a way. They just keep finding a way to make it worse. These Democrats took the two things that weren't broke in the city and broke them. Water and garbage. How do you break the garbage? How? And then how do you not pay the company that you shoehorned in here when you ran the other one off? Now, this all ends, I presume, with Waste Management coming back on board. I hope, anyway. I mean, look, my folks live in Jackson. You know, I have a vested interest in Jackson. That's why I go so hard on Jackson, because I think maybe just a little bit that you can, asking these folks to do right, don't do it. You have to mock and ridicule them and embarrass them into doing anything. So that's what I think I do here. That's my path anyway. We're going to mock and shame them into doing right. And I just, you Chokwe voters, I hope you're proud of yourselves. Obama was right about one thing. Elections have consequences, and y'all are getting all the consequences you asked for. Twice. You voted for him twice. What a damn shame. I'm going to read to you, this is the tail end of the press release by the city of Jackson. And it just says, residents are encouraged to manage interrupted, air quotes in the studio, interrupted trash pickup by, one, reducing the amount of household waste by using reusable containers and other sustainable, though they love them words like that, sustainable household products and goods rather than disposables. Two, this is my favorite one because this is a direct shot at y'all. Two, freezing seafood waste until garbage pickup resumes. That means no crab legs, Jackson. No crab legs for you. We can have them in Rankin County because we got garbage. 3, continuing to drop off household items. Continuing to drop off all household hazardous waste to 1570 University Boulevard. All right, that's right down by Jackson State, isn't it? I'm sure they're excited about that. Could you imagine living in that neighborhood and they're telling you to drop all the trash off there? Let's see. 4, staying informed. This is my favorite one. Staying informed by following updates via the City of Jackson's official website through social media and local news. The City of Jackson is currently exploring all options when it comes to garbage pickup, including designated local pickup spots. We will keep you informed of any new developments. So, less fancy way of saying you'll have to bring your garbage to us. And I chuckle when they say, stay tuned to the City of Jackson's social media. channels. They didn't care to keep anybody up to date when there wasn't any water or when there was a boil water notice. They didn't care to let anybody know when the EPA had issued warning after warning about the water. Why do we think they're going to care? This is so embarrassing. I just made a little TikTok video and I just asked one question. Are you embarrassed to say you're from Jackson? Are you not just fed up? I mean, I have a Jackson, Mississippi tattoo on my arm. If you're watching on the Save Jackson live stream, it's like the Las Vegas sign. And it says, welcome to fabulous Jackson, Mississippi. I'm going to have to get that Jackson tattooed through and put Brandon on it. Because there's nothing fabulous about Jackson, Mississippi anymore. Or maybe I could just convert it over like the Stark Vegas and represent my Bulldogs. Oh, man. Are you embarrassed? That's the question of the day. Are you embarrassed? John on our Facebook page says, how about burn pits? That way they can get the federal funds for respiratory problems that will be claimed after all that. Yeah, I mean, I want to know, will the national media come down here and somehow find a way to blame Chokwe screwing up the garbage on white supremacy, white flight, Clay Edwards, racism, infrastructural racism, environmental racism? Will they come down and cover that? How about, here's a novel idea. How about come down and hold these black Democrats that have destroyed this city through corruption and utter lack of, what's the word I'm looking for? Intelligence. They've destroyed Jackson. Can we get some black conservatives to run Jackson? That'd be great. That'd be great. Can we get Kim Wade? How about we start there? Kim Wade for mayor. I'm starting the campaign right here, right now on the Clay Edwards Show. Kim Wade for mayor. Yeah, I like the way that sounds. We get our buddy Derek to be deputy mayor. Make Derek head of public works. That would be good. And let's say I see y'all calling. We're going to hold the calls right now. Man, how embarrassing. How low can it go? Like every time it's between the crime, the water or lack thereof, and now you're not even getting garbage picked up. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. What is the Rubicon? What is the point where it's just too much? I'm talking to my black Jackson listeners this morning that voted for Chokwe. The ride or die Chokwe. He got 93% of the vote, so there's a good chance somebody listening right now voted for him twice. When is enough? Enough. What is a line too far for y'all to finally say, he got to go? He's got to go. I'm waiting. I don't hear anything. At what point? I mean, property value. I would hate to know I sold real estate or invested in real estate in Jackson. It's not going to be worth anything. I mean, I'm telling y'all, we're going to get a week or two down the road here. Trash is going to start piling up. They're talking about these trash drop-off points like they're bottled water pickup points. I can foresee it now. They're going to have a bunch of rollback dumpsters in the Metro Center parking lot for you to come drive through and drop your trash off. Derek texts in on the Guns and Gear text line. He says, how about Director of Public Safety and Police Chief? Oh, yeah. Yes. I didn't even think about police. Didn't even think about it. They're kind of an afterthought. Or, unfortunately. What? How embarrassing. Okay, now let me ask, white liberals down in Fondren and Belhaven, y'all voted for a lot of this nonsense too. Let me put your feet on the fire. Y'all regret it yet? Donna Ladd, you regret it yet? I'm just curious. All you white liberals bebopping around Fondren, funky in Fondren. It's going to be funky in Fondren, all right. It's going to smell funky. You ain't going to have to worry about keeping Fondren funky. It's going to be funky, all right. Anything I want to say to get me zapped off the radio here. But y'all get what I'm saying. You smell what the Rock is cooking? If you don't, you're going to smell what everybody in Jackson cooked here in a few weeks. It's going to be so nasty. I can't wait to get back and do some robo-tripping, where I used to ride around and make the videos on the Save Jackson page. I can't wait to put my dash cam on and start riding down through the neighborhoods, especially the poor neighborhoods in Jackson, the folks that voted for this nonsense in particular, and Fondren. Trust me, I ain't forgot about Fondren. I want to ride through and start seeing y'all's trash piled up, just overpouring in the streets. And I'm going to get out and I'm going to chuckle. I'm like, Elections have consequences. Elections have consequences. Oh, here's an idea. Maybe somebody's already said this in the comments. I ain't sure on the Save Jackson Facebook page this morning. But what about, I got an idea. Hear me out. Hear me out. Necessity's the mother of all invention. Isn't that what they say? What if you filled the potholes with the garbage? Fill the potholes with the garbage. Now, of course, only biodegradable because we got to be sensitive to the environment. Yeah, right. That's it. We're going to fill the potholes with the garbage. I tell you what, talk about breaking rules when necessary. We are breaking rules when necessary. Danny on the Facebook page says they'll find dumpsters and they won't have sense enough to know when full is full. Yep. All right. Shout out to everybody on the Facebook live feed. Appreciate you guys chiming in this morning. Hey, we did something really fun last night. I grew up in the nightclub business before I cut my teeth. That's how a lot of you guys know me before this. Two of the guys that were with me for the whole ride, for the most part of the whole ride, I was in the bar business. Chops and Trig, my two head bouncers, and just great individuals. They came over to the house last night. We sat around and we did a live feed on Facebook and YouTube and all that with a video. It is available to go watch. If you want to take a trip uncensored, Chops cusses a lot. If you want to take a uncensored, no holds barred trip down memory lane, relive the mid to late 90s to the early 2000s, mid 2000s nightclub stuff. I mean, we told stories about brawls at the dock. Me and Vince Vance and the Valiants and all of us getting jumped by some guys at 4 a.m. in the morning at the dock. Just told all kind of crazy stories about the nightclubs I owned, the time I put a billboard above another nightclub in town to promote mine, literally on their parking lot. Told a bunch of great stories. Go check it out. It's also available in an audio-only version. Just go search Clay Edwards Show wherever you listen to podcasts. All right, look, we're going to take a break here. We're going to come back. I got Hardy Case with Beringia Cannabis. We're going to talk about the decriminalization of marijuana coming down from Washington, D.C., and how does that affect Mississippi? Will we end up with adult use marijuana, also known as party use, recreational use? That's the word I'm looking for. We'll be right back on 103.9 WYAB. Breaking rules when necessary, but hey, our garbage will still get picked up out there in the lovely Rankin County. I just had a lady call in on the Mac Hike Flowood phone line between the breaks there, and she is she's been blind her whole life. And she wants to know what the hell are blind folks going to do? They can't load their garbage up and take it to some pickup point. Miss Linda, thank you so much for calling in. I let Miss Linda know that, let me know. We will make sure her garbage gets picked up and taken wherever the heck it needs to go. And right in front of Chokwe's house and catch it on fire. Single-handedly, Chokwe Antar Lumumba's fault. All of this is. Look, this segment is going to be brought to you by Watchman Security Services. WatchmanSecure.com. Locally owned, family owned for 35 plus years right here in the central Mississippi area, based out of Pearl right over there in the lovely county of Rankin. Founded by a retired law enforcement, Mr. Eric Knight. His son Nathan runs the party now. If you need smart cameras, smart thermometers, any of that stuff, gated access, a security system for your home, and look, let's just be honest, you live anywhere in or around Hinds County, if you don't have a security system, shame on you. Change that today by reaching out to Watchman Security Services. You can shop them online, watchmansecure.com. or give them a call at 601-955-9952. Again, indoor, outdoor cameras, security systems, remote gate access, smart doorbells, thermostats, and more. Residential and commercial services available statewide. All right. On the Mac Hike and Flowwood phone line, I got my good friend and partner in crime, Mr. Hardy Case with Beringia Cannabis. Good morning, Hardy.
Good morning, brother, and good morning, Vietnam, as you always say.
Yeah, look, I'm going to tell you what, man, it is rough out here. Hard out here on a pimp, as they say.
Man, when I read that about Jackson Water, it was like almost surreal. It's gotten to the point to where, I could read, that the volcano under the Coliseum area is going to blow up, and it wouldn't throw me off.
No, I mean, there's nothing at this point that you could tell me is going to happen in Jackson and me be surprised.
And look, you're 1,000% right. It's 100% due to Lumumba and the current leadership in Jackson. I mean, just because the guy has a law degree doesn't mean he knows how to run a city. I mean, that's just plain point blank and simple. I mean, I have a law degree, but that doesn't mean, but I couldn't tell people how to grow cannabis or how to, operate and open dispensaries and launch brands if I hadn't actually done that with my own two hands, You
have to have some level of management experience. And I'm not a good manager. I'm a good promoter. I'm a good talker. Managing is not easy because you have a lot of complex personalities, and you got to be hard on some people. You can be softer on others. People that do good work. Just because you were a lawyer and a bunch of people does not mean you're qualified to run the city. You're 100% correct. I mean, no pun. All right, let me say this again. Pun intended. What a dumpster fire.
Oh, I know, and I saw your post. I think it was on Instagram earlier. With the dumpster fire, and it's just, come on, dude. That's just you could use that for the past several administrations, except for our good buddy, rest in peace to the true mayor, who I'll always think of Mayor Jackson as Frank Melton, but it's just sad, man. I mean, and look, you and I were talking a while back about, hey, we hope the cannabis industry is going to help Jackson. Well, it could have, but there's no infrastructure. So, sorry, guys.
Yeah, Nathan texted in on the Guns and Gear text line, and I'm going to answer this question for everybody. He asked, does the garbage pickup interfere with people with large dumpster boxes, like say at apartment complexes and stuff like that? It depends on who they have their dumpsters with. If you have it with Waste Management, you should be good. If you have it with Richards, then you're probably not good. So that would be my answer to that. Waste Management's still going to be running and doing their routes and what they do inside the city. And I mean, they manage all the dumps too. So I think it's safe to say Waste Management will be the odds-on favorite. But, they sit here and they haven't paid this other company the $4 million. And I hate to be the bad guy. Actually, I don't. I like being the bad guy. If I was a wrestler, I'd be the heel. I'd be Hollywood Hogan. I'd be Hollywood Hogan, not Hulk Hogan. And, they knew. They knew they were rolling the dice coming up here, and I guess they just believed the mayor. He's like, oh, no, I'm going to get it taken care of. I mean, we knew this was going to be a dumpster fire, and it is. And, hey, you know what? Again, I hate it for the good folks in Jackson. Like I said, my parents live here. We got a nice lady called a minute ago, Miss Linda, blind. Hey, I got a bunch of friends that live in Jackson that I know didn't vote for this, but there's a bunch of idiots that did, and I hope they suffer the most. I hope their house smells like 5-day-old crab legs.
Yeah, you keep electing the same people, you're going to get the same results. Yeah. I was so mad when I was in town in April, and we wanted to go to the Crawfish Festival, and all that stuff happened there, man. It was just terrible.
Yep. All right. So, look, we're joined by Hardy Case, and since I started this show, Hardy has been my go-to for anything marijuana related, as Mississippi was struggling to get the bill passed and get it figured out with the medical marijuana here. Hardy has been our wealth of knowledge, and a lot of stuff has happened in the last 24 hours concerning marijuana on a federal level and here in central Mississippi. Let's start real quick because Mike Watkins just hit me up too. Tell me what's going on here in Mississippi with what's the name of the company? The Mockingbird stuff. Explain this to people in the Cliff Notes version.
Right. So, when medical cannabis was being discussed in Mississippi a while ago, right? Outdoor grow was one of the options that I was pushing, and that we actually, successfully got pushed through the House. Okay. However, this individual company, I believe they're called Mockingbird Cannabis. They actually lobbied against outdoor. Well, fast forward till now, essentially this week, I began receiving pictures from industry execs, clients, advocates of what is supposedly one of their extra locations that they did not include in their application. So all the other people, the growers, had to painstakingly create indoor grow houses because that's how the lobbyists, some of the lobbyists, big money lobbyists in Jackson, made the bill and the law. And these other folks apparently did not do that. And they also had an extra location. So there's, in the Mississippi Medical Cannabis Act, there are violations and fines and fees. And it's just looking really, really bad. There's an article about it in the Mississippi Today that came out on the 6th.
Yeah, but I'll share that. I will share that now while Hardy's talking to the Save Jackson Facebook page if anybody wants to go read it, and I highly recommend it. Go ahead, Hardy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, definitely read it. But it's just a bad look because essentially what happens, or what is going to happen, it seems, is these folks are going to get a large jump on everybody else who followed the rules. And look, we've got, around 50-something cultivators in Mississippi right now, and they're very upset about it. So there's ongoing discussion between the Department of Health, the ABC, and the industry folks are really, really upset about that. The dispensary folks, I don't believe, it's going to. You're going to hear a lot of discussion among them because they've got other stuff to deal with. But amongst the cultivators, there's definitely some anger.
Well, let me just ask. Let me ask the question that I guess everybody's going to want to know: who are these people tied with? How do you think they're getting, or why do you think they're getting the blind eye to them breaking the ruls? Who are they friends with?
Yeah, if you want to dig really deep into the weeds, pun definitely intended. There's a group called the Mississippi Cannabis Trade Association, and they're connected somehow, I believe, through someone's legal partner with someone who owns Mockingbird. All right, you have to go into the Secretary of State's website and do all that research and all that. But in Mississippi, associations are essentially lobbyists. There's an association for everything, and basically what they all are is nonprofits. Now, Y'all Politics actually wrote a great article describing how nonprofits in Mississippi work. I would encourage you all to go read that. Check out that website and read the article on nonprofits. It's very illuminating if you've never been involved in Mississippi politics.
Good long-form journalism.
Yeah, so that's essentially, when you get in with an association, they tend to hold a lot of weight and a lot of unnecessary pull in states, and a lot of advocates like myself who are pro-outdoor growth. I just want it to be fair for everyone. And I think it should be able to be grown outdoors in Mississippi of all places. But anyway, that's kind of the back room, kind of behind the scenes, picture of how that worked out. I don't know. I also have heard that they hired Capital Resources, which is a humongous lobbying firm in the South. One of the barbers, Henry Barber, is a partner of that. They're just huge. They're very large. I don't know if they actually did hire them, but that's what I was told by a very recognizable industry exec the other day when I was called by him. So, and this is a $30 million company that I was speaking with. So anyway, it's just it's not a good look. If people want power in government, look, you've got to go to the Capitol. You got to call your state representatives. You got to call your local people. I encourage everyone to get engaged. You can call and ask these same questions that I call, and people should. I encourage everyone to do that.
Yeah. Hey, Hardy, let's take a break real quick. Come back, and we'll pick this back up on the other side here. I also want to get into Joe Biden pandering at midterms with decriminalization. Let's see how I want to get your opinion on that. See how serious it is, and all that fun stuff. This is the Clay Edwards Show. We'll be right back with Hardy Case on 103.9 WYAB. Breaking rules when necessary. Welcome back in to your daily dose of reality radio. This is the Clay Edwards Show. We are live in the Dustin Bailey at Southern Magnolias Realty Studio. If you're out home shopping this weekend, you see a house for sale, don't call the realtor on there. Don't even worry about that. Pull up your phone, call Dustin Bailey at Southern Magnolias Realty Studio. Dustin and the team over there will get you taken care of. They offer a kind of a one-stop shop for all your home selling and buying needs. They can help you stage your home, the whole 9 yards. His phone number is 601-927-1741. He's also on Facebook. Just go search Dustin Bailey Realtor, and all of his information will pop up right there. Strapping looking fella too. Good looking guy, nice fella. Can't go wrong, man. Supporter of law enforcement. Him and his team over there at Southern Magnolias Realty put together the law enforcement or first responder appreciation event in Flowood a few weeks ago. My friends, those are the kind of folks I want to break bread with, and so should you. All right, back to Hardy Case on the Mac Hike of Flowood phone line. Hey, Hardy.
Hey, brother.
All right, we got a text of the day. We got a front runner for text of the day already here. On the Guns and Gear text line, it says, somebody call Mike Judge. Jackson is the perfect location for Idiocracy 2.
Yep, that's right.
I like it. I like the energy. I like the energy. That's the kind of stuff I expect out of this text line. Another Anthony texted in, and it's a little more on subject with what we were talking about. Says, I don't want to sell medical cannabis. I just want to open a pizza taco combo store next to a dispensary. I was like,
that's capitalism right there, baby. I like it.
That's that trickle down economy. That's one of the unforeseen businesses that come with a new industry, like a Nissan supplier.
Oh man, yeah, I still love Nissan, man.
Absolutely. All right, so I guess everything's on track to get medical cannabis up and rolling by the first of the year. That's kind of the assumption.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's going to be, you're not going to be able to find all of the quote unquote sexy products that you find in other states because there's not that many processing companies up yet. We've got half a dozen processors. So you're essentially going to be able to find, flour and some limited concentrates, some edibles, right around December, January, and then you'll see some more people come on, a lot more actually, after the first of the year.
Got it.
There's been about $6 million paid to the state already. I'm sure you've probably seen that in the fees. So the program has generated millions of dollars already. And look, I think in a year from now, there are going to be 3,500 extra jobs just from the plant touching side of the industry, dispensaries, processors, disposal. So, it's going to probably, and you'll see maybe half of that to double that of the ancillary jobs too. So it's going to be a big a big job producer for the state already. I mean, it's promises made, promises kept kind of type deal.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm excited about it. Again, it's just fun to, just from a business standpoint and a watcher of that kind of thing, just to sit back and watch a new industry, pun intended, sprout up from the ground and grow into this amazing thing. So I hope it works out. So let's just jump into it, man. The news broke yesterday that the Biden regime is going to decriminalize and try to change the federal statute on marijuana, try to make it where, sorry, somebody's trying to call in, so it's creating a funky sound there, but they're going to try to make it where it's no longer a Schedule I narcotic. Change the scheduling is what I'm trying to say here. And
reschedule. Yep. Yeah,
reschedule it and change the and decriminalize it. And they're going to let a lot of people out of jail. They're in there for minor nonviolent marijuana offenses and stuff of that nature.
Yeah, so what he did was essentially, and look, it's classic October surprise in politics, right? But it was a good one, but it's something he should have done a long time ago. I mean, it took him years. Now, I can also say that about every other U.S. president, but they didn't promise to do it. And it does bring up the classic, hey, he's just doing it for pandering. And you know what? That's exactly why he probably did it. But I'll take it. I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. It's one of those kind of type deals.
I will take a gift from my enemy. I mean,
absolutely.
I hate that Trump didn't do it. It was low hanging fruit that he could have done. If we're just going to sit here and pretend that the election was 100% fair and square, I thought Trump could have swayed a lot of the, I'm just going to say it, a lot of the black vote that was so dead set on him being an evil person. I believe you could have swayed a lot of that vote by the decriminalization and changing the scheduling and all that stuff. I mean, they're within limits now. If somebody's still driving through I-20 with 20 pounds of marijuana because for black market use, they need to go to jail. But
look, that's something I wanted to talk about too, real quick. I mean, if you want to help out the industry, don't go riding around with packs and AR-15s. It's just not going to be a good look. I mean, look, I'm pro. The first time I shot an AR-15, I was 7 years old, right? So, look, I'm pro Second Amendment as much as any human alive. But don't, the reality is don't be an idiot. Please and thank you. But,
it's still illegal to sell drugs. I mean, just from the tax side of it, they're not going to let you roll through and you go sell 10 pounds of marijuana and them not get their cut. So there's still legality.
Just go get a micro license, a micro grow license, like, several other, Mississippians have done already. It doesn't cost $1,500. And you can do it legally.
Yep.
Don't be an idiot. But,
getting a little off subject there, but to the point. There's going to be rules and regulations. Could we make the argument that it shouldn't be? Well, of course, it's still a plant. But for the sake of living within the confines of the laws that we have, these people who get on Facebook and every time there's a big drug bust, y'all couldn't be doing something different. Man, so much crime comes because of the drugs that if you could stop it at the root of the problem, it eliminates the crime that comes with it. These people that trip out about that blow my mind. Like, you're just thinking so small picture.
Those are never people that are the people that you see on those Facebook posts that are actually arrested. Dude, they've usually always got fentanyl and a bunch of AR-15s.
Stolen guns, everything.
Those are going to actually end up killing people on the street, as opposed to an AR-15 used to protect, used to shoot for fun, like we all do.
Yep.
But it's just a bad look. I mean, it's just a bad look. I don't know any other way to say it. People that are actually, in the gray market, it's still illegal, but the gray market who are supplying to their friends and family, those kind of people don't ride around with AR-15s and fish scales.
No, not at all. No, I'll tell you what, man. Somebody, let's take a call here, Hardy.
Sure.
After tone, record message.
That's somebody doing something stupid. All right, we're back. I thought somebody wanted to patch in, but it's just somebody that it's some spam call. It had called like 3 times. Like, they must really want to talk to Hardy. Let me get him on. And it was a spam call.
It's probably your boy Thomas, man.
Hey, he called in earlier. I just didn't answer.
Okay.
Now, if he had called in since you got on the phone, I would have answered. All right. So, what do you take from this whole thing with what Biden is doing?
Real talk. It's a really big move. I mean, it really is. Is it going to change everybody's life overnight? No. However, it is a huge deal. It just is. Any federal movement like this is big. The big thing about it is he's going to try to get the rescheduling done, which you mentioned, and he asked the other governors to pardon low-level cannabis offenses. I've seen Pennsylvania, their governor start to research how to do that. I would love for our governor, Tate Reeves, if you have any of your people listening, you guys are going to be getting calls asking to pardon low-level offenses, and I would request that you do so. And so you're going to see a lot of that happening. But could he have done more? Absolutely. Do I want him to do more? And will I be continuing to pressure their administration and other members of Congress like Nancy Mace, who I work with in these efforts? And we're going to continue to do that? Absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
So it says here, the declassification will be a much more difficult task as 10 Republicans would have to vote with Democrats to break any filibuster on the declassification. And it says, and I'm just reading kind of from the Gateway Pundit here, a little story. It says, while pardoning simple possession appears to be a political move that will have no impact on prison populations, the declassification will be much more difficult. I would think there's 10 Republicans out there that would vote.
Declassification, we're talking about reclassification, which doesn't require Senate approval.
Gotcha. All right, Hardy, let's take our last break and come back.
Bet.
All right, hang on. We'll be right back on the Clay Edwards Show, Hardy Case. Breaking rules when necessary. Welcome back into the Clay Edwards Show. Man, look, if you're out this weekend, support our sponsors. Get out to Ellis Autoplex, come buy a car from your boy. Get out to Mack Hike Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, buy a car from them. Guns and gear, for all your guns and ammo needs. Hit up Dustin Bailey if you are in the market to buy a house. Acme Pizza and Daiquiris for all of your pizza and daiquiris out there on the reservoir. Raymond Farmers Market for catfish night tonight, steak night tomorrow night. Keys Lock and Key if you need to get your home or business locks changed or rekeyed or any of that stuff. And, of course, our two great roofing companies, Watkins Construction and Complete Exteriors Roofing and Gutters. And and get out to Boondocks for some firearms training. Good stuff. They got some great memberships available. I'm sure I'm forgetting some folks, but that's life in the big city. Let's wrap up with Hardy. Hey, Hardy. Nope. Hey,
yes, sir.
All right, brother. You got about 60 seconds left, man. You want to take us home? Tell people how to find you?
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to thank everybody for listening to Clay's show. First of all, hearing that sponsor list. I mean, that's an incredible accomplishment. But look, if you want to
Lakeland
reach out
Glass
to me,
and Tint too.
I can help you guys learn about the cannabis industry. If you're a business and you're trying to get your feet on the ground, build your business up, reach out to me at BeringiaUSA.com, BeringiaUSA.com. And also, look, if you're looking to work in the cannabis industry, I'd love to mentor you. If you're trying to get a job, I won't charge you anything for that. If you want to learn, be a bud tender, work in a cultivation facility, you can reach out to me and say, hey, Hardy, I want to learn, and I'll be happy to help you.
All right, Hardy, got to go, brother. Appreciate you.
Absolutely.
All right, have a good one. All right, man, Hardy Case. Man, what a great week of shows. We'll have the podcast available here shortly, and I may do another podcast over the weekend. Go subscribe at ClayEdwardsShow.com.
Thanks for listening. Tune in next week as the Clay Edwards Show discusses all that is going on in and around the city of Jackson.
This concludes our broadcast day.
Right here on 103.9 WYAB.